Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I have decided to do today's video outside because it is just so gorgeous. I can't believe that we are almost a week into winter and we're still having mid-20s temperatures. It's just phenomenal, so why not enjoy it while I can. Today I'm gonna be sharing the most difficult thing that we have ever been through, which is moving to Paraguay and everything that has come along with it so far. So we definitely did make a trade-off deciding to leave Canada and then move to Paraguay. It has been a totally different experience. Everything is different. And we were used to, in Canada, government paperwork, it was simple. The forms were more difficult than what some of them are here. But the process itself, it's not one place to another, and it is, you send it in, as long as you did everything correctly, then it goes through. And for example, passports, as long as you did the form right, which can be complicated, but as long as you did that right, it's pretty much processing the passport and all of that, and you get it in the mail. And we very quickly learned that that's not the case here, not with some things. With the passports, it was. We were both born and raised here, my husband and I, at least partially raised here. And so getting passports was very, very simple. And I think I kind of got into my head thinking that if for our kids, getting them home here is going to be that simple, then it'll be straightforward. Because all it was is a double-sided page and didn't have to fill out every little thing that was on the page that was requested. It was pretty much your name, your parents' name, your Paraguayan, they call it a cédula. It is similar to a Canadian citizen. Pretty much just gives you the rights to live there, right? The rights to be a citizen. And as long as you had those basic things and a photo along with it, we sent it off to the embassy in Ottawa, and literally, I think it was 6 to 8 weeks from sending it off to until we had our passports in the mail, which was fantastic. But we really quickly realized that when you are actually here and you're going through processes, it is very different. First thing we realized is when we went to the capital city of Asuncion, we were going to get our cédulas renewed because it is a 10-year card, and then you have to renew it every 10 years. So it should be pretty simple and straightforward. I had got our marriage license, our Canadian marriage license. I had got it stamped and everything, like I was told that I would need to ahead of time in Canada, and use that to change my last name. Well, that was not so simple. We got to the office and we tried using the certificate to change my last name because I had gotten married in Canada, and we were told we needed to go to another office first. Okay, we tried that, and we tried getting it through the process there, and I'm not sure what they all said that we needed to do because it's all Spanish and our Spanish is slim. But we did have someone to help us. We were told something along the lines of we needed to, at the other office, we needed to go and have it approved by a judge to say yes or no, and then do some paperwork process. And in the end, we were told it would be simplest if we just got married again, which I was like, no. I don't care how simple it would be to just go in front of a judge or courthouse, whatever, get legally remarried. And we were just going to leave it the way that it is. It is only the government documents that it actually affects. My signature, you can't read it anyways, half of it, so it doesn't matter how I sign it. Decided to just leave that as my maiden name. And then another one of the first things that we tried going through when we got here is a bank account. Getting a bank account opened personally. There was a whole host of things that we needed to get done, a couple of things that we had to get authenticated, and all of that. So we had to show where the money came from that we were going to be depositing. We had a house that we had sold in Canada, and getting those offer purchase documents authenticated wasn't too big of a deal. Just go ahead and get it done. And then we thought, okay, now we need just one more signature, which is what we had told. And then before we were called to come and sign the final papers to open the bank account, we were told we needed to have certain papers gone through some legal stuff in Canada yet and get it approved and who knows what. What we ended up doing is just scrapping that account with that bank. We had not gone through the process completely, I guess, and we found another bank that was just simpler and more straightforward. We took the paperwork that we knew we would for sure need and anything we would possibly need, and it was an hour later and then it was done. I mean, that one does have its limits. We were only able to deposit a certain amount a month, but we figured we have something. And the next order of business was going to be getting our kids ready to get their cédula. Now, this part, we could have made it so much simpler. There are people that you can hire to do these things. But there's another cost to that, and we were trying to avoid any extra bills that we could. So we started the process ourselves. We had been given phone numbers by the Paraguayan embassy in Canada of which ones were best to call for us to have it be so that our kids could be permanently citizens, so that one day if they leave and they want to come back, then they're not told they have to start the process all over. So we contacted one of those numbers and got it all started, and we thought it shouldn't be too much. But we did realize that this is not as developed of a country, so things aren't as organized here yet with government paperwork and all that. We got sent around to, by now, 4 or 5 different offices between 3 different cities. And it has just been, we are still not done with the process. We are going to keep pushing forward to get it done ourselves, but once we are more stable here, if we just don't get it done ourselves, we're just going to hire someone and get it done, because it sounds like that's just much quicker. So yeah, that is where that is at, but maybe we'll get through some of that soon. Now, part of us getting established here is opening up a business, because we already knew well ahead of time that's what we wanted to do. It is just, if you can get a business off the ground here, that is going to be the most reliable source of income, and you'll just have more potential here. So we started opening a business, and we knew ahead of time, or right from the first time we talked to the accountant that we have hired, that it was going to be a while with a specific business that we are wanting to do. And for the next step that we are looking at doing right now, or that we are needing to get done, we needed a bank account open for the business, which we decided to just go with the same one that we had open a personal account, because we figured if that's simple there, we need to just get started somewhere. If it's simple there, then this should be the easiest to get into now with a business. But then we were there last week, and they told us that they need 6 months of records for our business to show like an income or like a cash flow is what they need to see. But how do you do that if you can't even actually work yet? If your business isn't functioning because you don't have a bank account, so you can't finish the paperwork, so you can't show cash flow, which we did find a way around it. Just it was a projection of cash flow, and they're doing it for an entire year. So we just kind of brainstormed what we plan on doing, how much we may be able to do, and we're gonna try to do it with that. So we will see how that goes. So those are 2 things that we still need to finish off: the kids' documents and then the business, but hopefully, fingers crossed, in 2 months we are up and running and finally really put our feet down on the ground here, which is so exciting. So there is, all of those things are things that are simpler in Canada. But despite all of those things that have held us back a little bit, not been in the time frame that we would think that it should maybe have been, or would have liked to have it be, all the things that we have gone through and adjusting, we don't at all regret moving here, and we cannot wait for things to really take off. I think we are just about there, and I cannot wait to take you along the journey and tell you all about it. And yeah, so keep an eye out for more updates on how all of that is going. We'll take you along with that, and have a wonderful day.